Hello. I've been out here this evening working on my medicinal herb bed. I have cleaned out most of the fence row, as you can see. I have already sowed very heavily in there red and white clover. I want that to be the foundation of the bed, since it is a nutrient fixer in the soil. Mostly nitrogen fixer, but because of the root system, it also holds the soil in place and makes a good biomass underplanting for the plants. So I've sowed that heavy. I'm leaving some of the larger violet plants in the bed because I will plant around them when I start placing plants in and seed in. Now, the reason for this video though is to show you where poke salad plants come from. If you have pokeweed in your yard and you want your yard to be safe, you need to get rid of the root, the tuber. I have quite a bit around the perimeter of my yard. So being a country girl, I feel absolutely ignorant for not knowing this. But I just assumed that the berries that dropped down were seed, that's where the plants came from year after year. Because I've never cared for poke salad. I've never read up on it or anything. I just knew it's poisonous and I left it alone. So I've been cutting it down with a machete every year. All these little plants around. Well, when I started digging down in here, this is actually the plant, the root of a not very large plant. These were kind of small, actually. But you see how large this root is. It's extremely toxic. You would not want that in an herbal medicine bed. And one of the things we want to do, we want to make our plantings safe for our family and for our community. If you ever sell your property, you don't want toxic plants left behind. So if you want to eradicate pokeweed out of your yard, and I highly suggest that you do, you're going to have to get down and you're going to have to dig those tubers up. So I did want to share that little bit with you and to assure you that I am working diligently on my herb bed, and I will be bringing to you updates as I do so. It's going to be probably about 8 feet by 6 feet in this elbow right here. I spoke with my neighbor on this other side, and he wants to poison, but I told him about the herb bed, and he said he will not poison this corner right here, but he's going to go in on his side and cut down all these scrubby vines and bushes. I had told him I had gone around there and cut on some, and he said that was fine. He was a real nice man. And then this awful horrible, it is a cherry tree. It's not one that even produces because of where it was planted. Little old ladies used to order from those seed catalogs because most of them couldn't drive, so they'd order these plants. They'd plant them just anywhere they wanted to in their yard, not knowing or thinking, putting any thought into the long-term growing habits or anything like that. And this is one of those plants that also suckers up everywhere. I have all these little cherry trees that sucker up in the fence row. My neighbors do. We cut them out all the time. And then if you can see, my neighbor back here that owns this where the shed is, he had cut this off. He had cut it all down the side and everything, but the plant has actually grown into the fencing right there on all 3 properties. So he did that last year, and you can see how it has suckered out and more leaves and branches have come out. So we had us a little neighbor conversation the other day on how are we going to get rid of that. And they're absolutely wonderful alpha males that I greatly appreciate. They're both real country, and they're going to figure out something, and I told them I support them in anything they do to get rid of that dang thing. So, but I am starting. It's still, we had a week of rain, so the soil is easy to be worked. It's kind of mild right now. I know we'll have some more hot days, so when it's mild and I have time, I'm going to get out here and be working in it. But I did want to bring you an update. So I hope you're having a good weekend wherever you are, and you're enjoying yourself, and you're having a good, healthy life. And I am working on a bed so that I can eat the wild things every day. Have a good weekend.